Hi, welcome back to my mom life. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jordan and today is Fall Food Friday. I have a good one to share with you. This is pumpkin cheesecake in the pressure cooker. I made a homemade caramel sauce and homemade candied pecans. So let's get started. I had the ingredients for you on the previous slide if you wanted to screenshot those, but here they are for you to see. I have some melted butter and graham cracker crumbs, some white sugar, pumpkin, and there's more ingredients for the crust that I don't have out here. Some flour, pumpkin pie spice, heavy cream. You'll need some softened cream cheese, 2 eggs, some vanilla extract, and then you're going to need some cooking spray and a springform pan. This is a 7-inch springform pan. It fits perfectly into the pressure cooker. I have a Ninja Foodie pressure cooker and also an Instant Pot, and it fits in both of those. So that is what you'll need. I'm going to start by making the crust. So I'm going to measure out my graham cracker crumbs, and you can definitely crush graham crackers and do this that way. You don't have to buy the actual graham cracker crumbs. I just had these in my pantry, so that's why I use them. And then I'm going to add in some cinnamon and some ginger. I wanted to give the crust a fall flavor also, so that's why I added in these spices. And then you're going to add in your sugar, your pinch of salt, and some melted butter. Mix that all together, and then we will spray our springform pan and pop this down in the bottom and along the sides of that. A tip that I have for you is to use the bottom of a measuring cup to kind of press down your crust so that you can get a good even layer. If you do not want to go through the trouble of making your own crust, you can crush up some ginger snap cookies or some sort of hard cookies like that, like a vanilla wafer would work, and use that with some melted butter to make your crust that way. If you do use my recipe for this though, you will have some of this left over because it makes a little more than you need, but I did need to come up with some sort of measure to give you because I kind of just threw this together. I wanted to have some sort of measurements to give you, so just be aware that you'll have a little bit extra. Now that we have our crust together, we're going to go ahead and put together our cheesecake filling. So you're going to take your softened cream cheese. This is 2 blocks of softened cream cheese, and I actually warmed it in the microwave for a minute, not a whole minute, for like 30 seconds, just to make sure it was nice and soft. And then you're going to add in your sugar, and you're going to beat this until it is well incorporated, and then we will add in some more of our ingredients. Now you're going to add in your pumpkin pie spice, your pumpkin, your flour, and you're going to mix that up really well. Be sure to scrape the sides of your bowl just to make sure that you are incorporating everything well. And then you're gonna add in your eggs, cream, and vanilla extract and give it one last final mix, and then we will pour it into our pan. This is going to be very full, so just be aware. But it turns out, I promise, when I opened my pressure cooker when it was done cooking, I was a little worried because it had puffed up a little bit, but it falls down enough to where it is like an even top and it did not crack. It was perfect. So you're going to get your pressure cooker ready by adding 2 cups of water down into the bottom of it, and then you will put your cheesecake onto the trivet. Now, you can make like a foil sling. A lot of recipes will call for you to make like a foil sling to lift your cheesecake in and out, but I find that it is just as easy to take the trivet that I have like this and carefully move it into the pressure cooker. That's just what I do. You can do it however you want. Then you're going to place your lid on, making sure that your valve is set to seal. You always want it on seal when you're pressure cooking, and you're going to cook it on high pressure for 20 minutes. And then the recipe said to let it naturally release in the pressure cooker, naturally release pressure for 15 minutes, but mine was done naturally releasing pressure at 13. So you can open it whenever it's done, or you can release the rest at 15. And here it is when it is done cooking. Now you want to let this sit on the counter for an hour to cool down, and then pop it in the fridge for at least like 3 to 4 hours to set up. While our cheesecake is setting, let's go ahead and make the caramel sauce. So in a saucepan, you're going to add your butter, brown sugar, and your heavy cream. You can add either a 1/4 cup or 1/8 of a cup depending on how thick you want your sauce. I added about 1/8 of a cup because I wanted it pretty thick, and you're just going to cook this until it comes up to a rolling boil. So cook it on medium heat until it starts to boil, and you want to stir this constantly or it can burn. And you want to let it boil for about 2 minutes before you remove it from the heat. And then once you remove it from the heat, you will add in your vanilla extract. So here is our finished caramel sauce. You can definitely use store-bought, but I wanted to make it homemade. Now we're gonna make our candied pecans. Also, you can buy store-bought, but I made them homemade. I had the ingredients on hand, so that's why I did it that way. You're going to, in a saucepan, take your water, your brown sugar, your cinnamon, salt, and your vanilla, and you're gonna cook this until it starts to thicken up. You want that sugar to dissolve, and you want the water to start to evaporate a little bit. Once that starts to thicken up, you want to add in your pecans, and you're going to let them cook in the sauce until it is nice and thick. In total, this took maybe about 6 to 8 minutes to get it to the consistency that I wanted. So as you can see, you're gonna add the pecans and then let it simmer away, stirring it. Also, just like the caramel, you do not want it to burn, but it will create like a syrup around the pecans, and yes, it's gonna be delicious, I promise. Now that your pecans are cooked, your caramel sauce is ready, and your cheesecake is chilled, you're going to put everything together. So I have the cheesecake here. I'm going to take it out of the pan. I just wanted to show you how nice the crust looked and how smooth the top is. This turned out so perfect. Then you're going to put it all together. You can do what I did and put it all together on top of the cheesecake before you slice it, but I would recommend slicing it and then adding the toppings on, because if you put this back in the fridge to chill, or if you put this back in the fridge and like go the next day to try and slice it, that topping is going to get pretty hard and it's going to be hard to slice. Either way, it's absolutely delicious, but if I had one recommendation for you, it would be to slice it and then add your toppings. But for this video, I wanted to show you it all put together. So I spread the caramel sauce on top, and then I added the candied pecans with the syrup that we made, and this was such a hit. This is absolutely delicious. If you try one thing that I share, try this. If you like pumpkin, I mean, you kind of have to like pumpkin and cheesecake. So you're going to put it together, and then it is ready to serve. So like I said at the beginning of this video, it is Fall Food Friday, and that means that this is a collab with Falon from Moss Family TV. As always, I will have her channel linked down in the description box and the playlist. I really hope that you check it out because there are so many great ideas for fall, and thank you to Falon for hosting this every year. This is so fun to be a part of. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. And if you are new here, I would love it if you considered subscribing. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.